Chief Obiele mocked the silent beggar at the marketplace. The entire town heard his laughter. He laughed like a man untouchable, a man shielded by wealth, a man who believed misfortune lived only in other people's houses. But that night, something shifted. The wind changed direction. The moon dimmed. And the beggar, the same man he insulted, stood at the edge of Chief Obiele's compound, waiting, as though he had been expecting the moment pride would invite consequences. By sunrise, Chief Obiele's world shattered. His bank accounts, his cars, vanished. His power, his name, worthless. He opened his eyes to a nightmare he never imagined. A rich man who had woken up poorer than the beggar he mocked. And the scariest part, everyone kept whispering the same thing. That beggar was not human. If you love deep, gripping African stories, like and subscribe to join the family for more powerful tales every day. They said Chief Ogbonna could buy the entire street if he wanted to. Some even joked that he could buy the moon and hang it over his mansion like a lamp. He wasn't just rich. He was powerful. Fleet of cars. A mansion with golden gates. A business empire that stretched across states. Employees who feared him more than they respected him. To him, poor people were not unfortunate. They were lazy, weak, and useless. And no one annoyed him more than the beggar who always sat at the roundabout near his estate. An old man with faded clothes. A walking stick made from a crooked branch. A voice as soft as wind. Every morning the beggar would say, "Chief, may kindness follow you." And every morning, Chief Ogbonna would hiss, wind up his tinted window and mutter, "Useless man. Look at your life." His driver, Nduka, hated how the chief spoke to the elderly man, but who was he to talk? Job was a job. One particular morning, the old beggar raised his head and said softly, "Chief, remember that wealth is a visitor. Treat it well." Chief Ogbonna laughed so loudly even the birds flew away. "Visitor. My wealth has built a mansion here. Old man, go and rest." The beggar only smiled, a smile that made even Nduka shift uncomfortably. That night something unusual happened. Chief Ogbonna had a strange dream. He was standing in the middle of a large marketplace. Silent, cold. And the only person there was the beggar, staring at him. But when the beggar spoke, it wasn't with the soft voice he knew. It echoed like thunder. "Your heart has grown too proud. Let it learn." Chief tried to speak to defend himself, but his voice disappeared. Then darkness swallowed everything. He woke up drenched in sweat, unaware that the real storm had just begun. Sunlight crept into Chief Ogbonna's room. He yawned, reached for his phone to check the time. But it was gone. He frowned. Perhaps he left it in his study. He walked downstairs. The house was unusually quiet. No cooks. No cleaners. No noise. "Where is everybody?" he muttered. He walked outside and froze. His fleet of cars was gone. Not one. Not two. All of them. Panic clawed at his chest. He dashed back inside and opened the safe that required his fingerprint. Every cash bundle. Every document. Even his gold wristwatch collection. He raced to his room and checked his wardrobe. Designer suits. Vanished. Wristwatches. Shoes. In their place were old, oversized clothes that smelled like smoke and sweat. What kind of joke is this? He tried to call his wife's number using the intercom. It was dead. He ran outside the mansion gate, expecting to see the security man. But where his giant mansion once stood was a small, broken house with cracked walls and a rusty zinc roof. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, stepped back, stepped forward. No, this had to be a dream. He ran to the estate gate, but the gate wasn't there anymore. The beautiful estate was gone. Instead, he stood in a poor neighborhood he had never seen before. Children fetching water from a broken tap stared at him like he was insane. A woman frying akara asked, "Oga, hope no problem?" He ignored them and kept running. His legs weakened. His breath shortened. His panic grew. He finally reached the roundabout, the one where the old beggar usually sat. And there, sitting calmly like nothing happened, was the beggar. He didn't look like a beggar anymore. His clothes were neat. His hair looked blacker. Even his walking stick shone like polished wood. Chief Ogbonna gasped. What is happening? Where is my house? My cars? The old man smiled warmly. You woke up in your new life, Chief. My new what? A heart that mocks the poor deserves to understand poverty, not as punishment but as a lesson. Chief staggered backward. Lesson? Well, I want my life back. The beggar nodded gently. That depends on the kind of man you choose to become. Before Chief could speak, a bus zoomed past, and when he looked back, the beggar was gone. Chief Ogbonna returned to the tiny house he found himself in. Inside, the room was dusty. A thin, worn-out mattress lay on the floor. No fan. No fridge. No electricity. Flies circled a bowl of gari on a small wooden table. This couldn't be real. Couldn't. He searched every corner for clues. A small ID card lay on the ground. He picked it up and read. Ogbonna Chibik. Occupation, laborer. Daily wage. 1,200 Nigerian nairas. His knees buckled. His breath caught in his throat. His new identity was a poor daily worker. How? Why? He screamed. But the walls didn't answer. He wandered outside again. The neighbors looked at him with pity. One of them waved and shouted, Ogbonna, you know dey go sight today. The Oga say if you no come, no work for you again. Oh. He felt dizzy. Work as a laborer. He could barely lift a bucket, let alone carry cement on his head. But hunger twisted his stomach, reminding him he no longer had chefs or servants. He walked slowly to the construction site. The supervisor glared at him. You late again. If you like, go back home. No work for you today. Chief forced himself to beg. Please. I will work. I must work. The other workers laughed softly. Rich man don't turn laborer, one whispered. He carried sand. He mixed cement. He lifted blocks. His back screamed. His palms tore. Sweat drenched him. And the workers mocked him the entire day. By evening he collapsed on the ground. One of the workers poured water on him. You never chop since morning. He shook his head. The man handed him bread. Chief took it with trembling hands. Thank you. The man shrugged. No worry. Today na you. Tomorrow fit be me. That sentence felt like a blade to Chief's heart. For the first time he understood how heavy poverty felt. How humiliation tasted. How survival swallowed pride. As he walked home that evening, he whispered, I mocked people who lived like this. I didn't know. I truly didn't know. He didn't see the beggar watching from afar, smiling faintly. Days passed. Then weeks. Chief Ogbonna learned to survive on little. He learned to respect other workers. He learned to say please and thank you. He learned to help without expecting anything in return. One night, he saw a young mother struggling with a crying baby while trying to carry water home. Old Chief Ogbonna would have driven past. But this new Ogbonna carried the water for her and bought bread for the baby with his little wages. Another day, he saw a man faint from exhaustion at the sight. Old Ogbonna would have shouted. New Ogbonna gave the man water, shared his food, and helped him finish his work. Soon, the workers who once mocked him began to respect him. You be better person now, they told him. Still he missed his family. He missed his home. He missed his life. Every night, he knelt beside his worn-out mattress and whispered, If I ever get my life back, I will never look down on another soul again. One evening while returning from work, he saw the beggar again. But the beggar looked younger now, stronger, almost glowing. Ogbonna fell to his knees. Please, have learned. I am not the man I was. The beggar touched his shoulder gently. You have learned something many never learn, empathy. But please, can I go back home? You will return when your heart is truly ready. A single tear fell from Ogbonna's eyes. Then help me become ready. It happened on a quiet morning. Ogbonna woke up before dawn, exhausted from work, and walked to the main road to help an old woman carry her firewood. He followed her all the way to her house, sweating and panting, yet smiling. She blessed him. May helpers find you. As he walked away, he noticed the beggar sitting under a mango tree. Except this time, he wasn't dressed as a beggar. He wore a white cloth. Radiant, peaceful. Ogbonna stopped. The beggar stood up and smiled. You have passed your test. My test. Yes, wealth is a gift. Kindness is a choice. You lacked the second, so the first blinded you. Ogbonna's chest tightened. Are you a human? The beggar only smiled. Some lessons require a teacher you do not expect. He touched Ogbonna's forehead lightly. Go home. Ogbonna blinked. The sun flashed. Wind roared. Voices echoed. When he opened his eyes again, he was standing in front of his giant mansion. Clean. Glowing. Whole. His cars were back. His clothes. His life. A security guard ran toward him. Chief, you just appeared, hero. We've been looking for you. His wife rushed out in tears. Where have you been? We thought we lost you. He held her tightly. I'm here. And I'm never leaving again. Over her shoulder, he saw the roundabout. The beggar was nowhere to be found. But a faint whisper echoed in his mind. Remember the poor. From that day, Chief Ogbonna changed completely. He built shelters, gave scholarships, fed widows, supported laborers, helped strangers, spoke kindly, lived humbly. Whenever people asked why he became so compassionate, he always smiled and said, because one day, I met a beggar who wasn't a beggar. And so, Chief Ogbonna became known not for his wealth, but for his kindness, the kind that came from a heart that once fell low and rose even higher.